radionic computer test. Are you sick? If your answer is yes, then legally, socially, and culturally, you are entitled to this information concerning radionic computer analysis, diagnosis, and treatment. In our radionic computer test, all you do is to give us a specimen of your blood or urine, which we insert into the radionic computer machine and analyze all your body organs, tissues, and cells, including the auric, the mental and emotional system, irrespective of disease name or how long. If this appeals to you, try any radionic computer center around you.
Welcome back. Now, I did tell you earlier that we will be looking at radionic computer analysis as an alternative system of diagnosing illness. Of course, I have Dr. Amadi Godspower with me to discuss this issue. Now, Dr. Amadi, you're very welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, then. Now, the very first question for Dr. Amadi is, what exactly is this radionics? Is it the same thing as radioesthesia? Is it the same thing as radioesthesia?
Well, nearly the same thing. Good evening, viewers. Radionics, according to your question, my presenter, simply means it's a compound word that comprise radio and electronics. You know that in radio systems, we have what we call the wave band, the megahertz wave band, the short wave band, and the long wave band. And in electronics, we all know about the I buttons, the green buttons, the red buttons. So these two words coupled with the word radiesthesia. Radiesthesia simply means the use of pendulum to analyze subtle rays that emanate from substances, but now for diagnostic purposes. So the use of radiesthesia on radio electronic equipment is called radionics. And in this context, the sole aim is to use it to depict rays of diseases which otherwise were invisible to the human eyes because of the subtlety of the rays or their vibrations. So this pendulum seems to be the most sensitive instrument that can pick up such vibrations, and the readings of it, either clockwise, anti-clockwise, vertical, or longitudinal, will explain to the electronic homeopath exactly the condition of the human health.
So this pendulum you're talking about, is it that's thing that swings left, right, left, right, left, right?
Of course, yes. And you know the theory of pendulum is right from time. You see the big wall clock in the granddaddy's room.
Yes.
There is always a pendulum that is going to and fro. That movement is the pendulum movement, and it's also applicable here. That's the same pendulum.
Okay, so how exactly does this radionic computer analysis, how does it diagnose an illness?
It's a long story, however, we'll have to do it. You see, this would have been a new system of medical diagnosis, but it's not all that a new system, but a modified system of our forefathers' ways of finding out things. The only difference between the way it runs and the way our forefathers do theirs is that in those days they were not scientifical, they were not technologically proven. You see, this time around, the radionic computer machine is a machine that has about 3 compartments. One is where we call the matrix, and the other side is where we call the EVP. The EVP simply means the electrovibropotentizer, and that simply means the art of quickening or heightening energy in order to produce reaction which can be compared to already natural existing energy. So in that way, we produce most electronic homeopathic medicines. The other side now is the analytic side, wherein the human specimen, say the urine or whichever specimen that is available, is being inserted. The moment it is inserted, then the electronic homeopath tunes into the fundamental ray. The fundamental ray simply means the first light that emanates from every substance. It is available in every living thing and most times in non-living things. Most people are not able to see it, but the radionic pendulum dictates it easily. The moment the electronic homeopath tunes into the fundamental ray, he is now in tune with the fundamental ray of the human body, and that is to say with the etheric body of the human body. And you may agree with me that the fundamental ray is part of the etheric body, which has recently been proved scientifically that the etheric body is actually a body that is floating on top of the physical body like smoke.
So we're talking about fundamental ray as this etheric body, right?
Yeah.
Is it only humans that have them, or do other animals also have them?
Yes, I said all living things,
Including plants?
Even plants.
Oh, okay.
They have this fundamental
So what
ray.
exactly defines the fundamental ray?
The fundamental ray is the light emitted by every substance.
Okay.
Yes, and it simply means the conglomeration of various vibrational patterns. That means that all the things happening inside the human body or inside that living thing, they are sending up sensations which we call vibrations, and all these sensations or reactions are gathered together on top. They are conglomerated there, and when they are there now, the scientists find out that it is also part and parcel of the human aura. And with this now, all things that are happening inside the body are represented in each molecule of human blood or human urine. You see.
So we'll get back to that, but I would like to remind you that you too can send your SMS if you want the doctor to answer your questions. Whatever issue might be bothering you, just send your SMS to the numbers you'll be seeing very soon, or that you've already seen on your TV screen. Send them and the doctor will try to answer your questions. Now, doctor, we're talking about the fundamental human ray, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So at this time now, you can see with me, presenter, that some people may wonder, how is it possible that little specimen that is inserted into this electronic machine can have the information covering the human body? It is also the same thing when we see a big tree like an iroko plant, and yet the fruit contains seeds. Each seed in this fruit contains the full information of this iroko tree. Now when you plant this fruit, it is this seed, the mustard seed or whatsoever, that can now germinate, and before you know it, it produces the huge trunk of the iroko tree, which means that all these things were contained therein formerly. That is also how we see it this day, that certain cases or certain diseases, when they run for their tests or try to make their findings, sometimes they complain that nothing was found. But we are now know that by tuning into the fundamental ray, that is the first prime light of every living soul, of every living thing, it is now possible to query everything concerning the inner viscera of that being.
Okay, so why exactly is electronic radionic computer, why is it different from other systems, and what makes it special?
Well, I will not like to compare this electronic diagnosis with other systems. However, I will tell you that it is good enough, because most times there is no speculation, and the moment we tune into this fundamental ray, you know, we now start just to take the human body as a whole for the purpose of diagnosis, you know. And in this case now, we start from the emotional system of the body. Having tuned into the fundamental ray, we now query about the emotional system, if it is negative or positive. Most ailments today are existing because of what we call emotional imbalance.
All right, emotional imbalance. We'll continue from that after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Computer test. Are you sick? If your answer is yes, then legally, socially, and culturally, you are entitled to this information concerning radionic computer analysis, diagnosis, and treatment. In our radionic computer test, all you do is to give us a specimen of your blood or urine, which we insert into the radionic computer machine and analyze all your body organs, tissues, and cells, including the auric, the mental and emotional system, irrespective of disease name or how long. If this appeals to you, try any radionic computer center around you.
Welcome back. It's still your health portal, and of course, I'm still talking with Dr. Amadi Godspar. Now, doctor has been talking about electronic homeopathic medicine and radionic computer analysis. Now, we're talking about the radionic computer analysis, the tests. So, tell us, how exactly does this test? How is it done?
Yes, that is what I will explain now. Just as I was saying, that the moment we go into the emotional system, we analyze how balanced it is. I was trying to say that some diseases on earth this time around emanated actually from emotional imbalance. In many other systems, they may not take such into account, but in electronic homeopathic medicine, we take that into account, and that is responsible maybe for most of our success in handling these cases. Some people, when a joyful thing happened to them, say a long departed daughter or son is suddenly back, they are too happy, they embrace, and that overjoy can cause what we call emotional imbalance. Sometimes you are wounded to the extent that you are psychologically wounded. In fact, you want to cry, but because you want to claim you are a big lady or a big boy or a big man, you refuse to cry, so you did not shed out that tears. This now is now suppressed. We say there is suppressed emotions in homeopathy. That is how we use it. So these suppressed emotions can actually go on and on and on and cause negative patterns in thought forms that will eventually manifest into physical ailments. So we don't stop there alone. We now go into the skeletal system of the body, where we analyze the long bones, the short bones, the irregular bones. In fact, from this skeletal system, homeopaths do elucidate out cases of rheumatism, rheumatoid arthritis, gonorrhea rheumatism, and all forms of bone pains. Most times people have bone pains and attribute it to rheumatism, when actually through electronic computer analysis, because of the system involved, it is now found out that this type of pain is not because of rheumatism, but maybe because of suppressed syphilis, and that could cause nightly bone pains. So after the skeletal system, we not only do that now, but we now trace the homeopathic medicines and check out the ones that are looking like those particular ones we see in question. Remember, I did say some time ago that homeopathic medicines are actually those medicines that have been tested on healthy human beings and confirmed to produce such and such symptom. Thus, if I give somebody this remedy called digitalis, which my colleague in the other side may call digoxin, if this digitalis is able to bring symptoms of cardiagia or palpitations in the heart or irregularity in the heartbeats, then in the natural case, as an electronic homeopath, when I see a natural case where the heart is involved, just like any other homeopath, the first thing is to compare such symptoms to those of digitalis as proven in the Homeopathic Materia Medica. That is the authorized textbook for a collection of homeopathic medicines. Now, after comparison, if the symptoms are rhyme and alike, then we reach that law we call similia similibus currentur. That is, let likes be treated by likes. That is how homeopaths come to that point of selecting digitalis for the heart pains. So we don't still stop there. We now enter into the system of the respiration. In the respiratory system, homeopaths analyze the human body right from the nose into the bronchial tubes, into the bronchioles, in fact, into the alveoli, into the lungs themselves. Here we elucidate many cases of what you call asthma, sometimes bronchitis. People are aroused in the midnight. When they are aroused by midnight, by 1 o'clock, according to electronic homeopathic philosophy, there is a particular remedy that calls for that if it is by 1 a.m. midnight. And if it is by 3 a.m. midnight, there is another remedy that is most suitable. Sometimes it is not just bronchitis or asthma, it may be tuberculous miasm.
Sorry, why are there two different remedies? One for 1 a.m., one for 3 a.m. Why?
Thank you very much. That is because in the formation of the homeopathic materia medica, it has been confirmed that these remedies, when they were proven on healthy human beings, that such people, the medicines were proven upon, it was by 1 a.m. that this one aroused up and was breathless. The other person, when he himself slept, it was by 3. Take, for instance, the remedy we call calicab. We usually wake by 3. Nurse vomica, we wake by 4. Arsenicum we wake between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. Like sulfur, which you see in the market, the ordinary sulfur, the patient is worse by between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Okay.
He's tired of standing and is very hungry and is dying. So that is the homeopathic system.
So quickly, you have been alternating electronic computer analysis with radionic computer analysis. Are they the same thing or are they different?
Surely they are almost the same thing,
Okay.
but the word radionics is better said to those who actually understand the vibrational pattern or depiction of subtle rays, invisible rays, and trying to use them for diagnosis. While the electronic system, it should be used by modern people who know the machine electronics of on and on. So that is how we go now. We now enter into the reproductive system in that analysis. That is how homeopaths do it every part of the world. In the reproductive system, believe you me, they tune into the reproductive organs. In fact, in the case of men, right from the meatus into the urethral canal, they extend into the epididymis, they extend into the prostate gland, they check out the erectile muscles, they check out the testicles, the right and the left testicles, they check out all these organs that produce spermatozoa. They now elucidate why people have scanty sperm and whatever they call oligospermia and things like that. Yes.
So are you saying all these diagnoses happen in just one test? You're talking about one test. You can test the respiratory system, reproductive system, you test the heart, you test the liver, everything in one test.
Yes, of course. When a patient goes to a homeopath somewhere there and says he wants to run through a comprehensive analysis, that is what is happening. It is not the same thing from when you are running a single test to know how your tummy is doing. But if you are running through a comprehensive analysis, that is the procedure that goes on. So that same way, in the case of female also, the homeopaths try to tune into the reproductive organ and analyze right from the beginning of the reproductive organ into the canal itself, into the uterus, that is the os uterum, into the uterus itself, and then check out the right fallopian tube, the left fallopian tube, the Graafian follicles, the left ovary, the right ovary. It is now possible to know why some women have scanty menstruation, to know why some women present with black menstruation, or what we call the dark menses, or even why some people have their catamenia just looks like when you wash meat in the water. That is just how watery it is. And through that way, you see some cases of what we call uterine displacement or prolapse of the uterus. In such cases, physically, the woman may be experiencing pain in the waist region or the lower abdomen, and whenever she attempts to have any reproductive procedure with the husband, you see that the moment she's standing up, the whole thing is pouring out because there is uterine prolapse. Some people make the mistake of saying there is blocked uterine tubes, there is blocked fallopian tubes. Why? Because when the uterus descends down, then the fallopian tubes have no alternative than to raise up this way, and nothing therefore can pass. So it will look as if it is blocked, whereas it is not. Also here, homeopaths find out how fibromata starts forming. Sometimes there is fibroid of small size or double, depending on the causative factor, which we may deal this time in this program sometime again.
Earlier you said something about likes being treated with likes, right? Or by likes. So you compare symptoms and then you treat them in the same way, right? The same way you treat person A is the same way you treat person B. So what happened to the philosophy that different people react in different ways to different substances or to different ailments? You answer that question after this break. We'll be right back.
Radionic computer test. Are you sick? If your answer is yes, then legally, socially, and culturally, you are entitled to this information concerning radionic computer analysis, diagnosis, and treatment. In our radionic computer test, all you do is to give us a specimen of your blood or urine, which we insert into the radionic computer machine and analyze all your body organs, tissues, and cells, including the auric, the mental and emotional system, irrespective of disease name or how long. If this appeals to you, try any radionic computer center around you.
Welcome back. It's still your health portal. Remember, you can send an SMS if you want the doctor to answer your question. Whatever the issue is, just send an SMS to those numbers right there on your TV screen. Now, the doctor has been talking about radionic computer analysis, and now we are looking at.
Yeah, just to answer your question, yes. You were saying that I said of similia similibus currentur,
yes,
using likes to cure likes or using likes to treat likes. And now, the way I treat man A who wakes by 1 a.m., is it the way we treat all the people that wake by 1 a.m.? Well, the answer to that is that in electronic homeopathy, actually, we have the law similia similibus currentur. But then, whatever be your headache form, the remedy that may give you the relief in homeopathic practice may not be the remedy that will give me the relief, because we are two different beings. We have different body constitutions. So in that case, it's also likely that, like in the case of respiration in the people of respiratory problems, it's not all people that do wake by 1 o'clock a.m. But definitely, those that wake up by 1 o'clock a.m., it's likely that that same remedy called arsenicum album will give them the required relief. Whereas those who wake up by 3, 4 a.m. because of the oppression of their breathing, it's likely that calicab may give them their relief.
So that means the person A's reaction and person B's reaction doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it matters because it is through the reaction that the remedy is selected or the medicine is selected.
So let's round off radionic computer analysis.
Thank you very much. So by this time now, you see that most times you see women moving from pillar to post in search of fruit of the womb. Whereas the problem sometimes is due to the fact that it has been impossible to find out the real problem that is causing the infertility. Through electronic computer analysis, homeopaths try to tune into this ray and analyze very well these regions, and then they also analyze various remedies and find out those ones that are likely to benefit these people. Another interesting area is in the circulatory system. You see many people today claiming to be hypertensive. You see people claiming that their hypertension, they cannot do anything about it. In fact, homeopaths everywhere throughout the whole world, they try to practice with that simple formula of using those remedies that are capable of causing diseases when given to healthy human beings to treat or give relief to such people who have such natural cases. In this way, when we analyze the circulatory system right from the heart itself, analyzing the tricuspid valve, the bicuspid valve, and the aorta, and the pericardium, and the endocardium, it is possible to find out where there is this problem, and even how this is traced to the lungs, where there is exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide.
All right,
and through this way, most cases are
This is a very
do get their
extensive
relief.
topic.
Yeah.
We will continue with this topic next week. That's radionic computer analysis as an alternative system of diagnosing illness. All right, thank you very much. I have been speaking with Dr. Amadi Godspower. He holds a PhD in electronic homeopathic medicine. Doctor, thank you very much for coming on the program today.
Thank you,
I am Laide Faraway. I'm asking you to join us same time next week for another edition of Your Health Portal. Bye for now.
Through this machine, most cancerous cells are burnt away. It's an electrotherapeutic system. For tips on your healthcare and treatment through electronic homeopathy, join us here on a half-hour incisive on complementary and alternative healthcare on this station.